a group of around 200 people have entered the perimeters of the protest site at the Singhu border. There has been a fair bit of destruction as far as infrastructure is concerned. They've uprooted tents. How they were allowed to enter despite this being such a high security zone is a question that still remains to be answered. What we can see, however, on our screens at the moment, and we're trying to get in different camera angles of what really is happening at the Singhu border, is that there has been lathi-charge by the Delhi police. You're also reporting that there was tear gas that was used. Was this in a bid to keep the two sides separate?
Rishika, was that question to me?
Yes, Arvind, can you hear us? All right, we seem to have lost that line with Arvind, but let me just recap this big breaking story for our viewers. High drama at the Singhu border. This, remember, is the border between Delhi and Haryana, which has been the epicenter of the farmer agitation for the last 63 days that has remained peaceful except for the unfortunate scenes that one saw in the national capital on Republic Day. Yesterday, there were a group of 100 people who gathered at the Singhu border. They raised slogans, they protested against the farmers being there and then left. Today, once again, despite the high security that has been put in place at the Singhu border, another group of around 200 people have gathered at the Singhu border. They have entered the perimeter of the protest site, have uprooted tents and caused damage to the infrastructure. What we're learning is that the police have in fact taken action. There has been lathi-charge that's been reported at the Singhu border. There was stone pelting that was reported earlier. That's how the commotion at the Singhu border in fact began. And what we're learning right now is, of course, that tear gas and lathi-charge has been used by the Delhi police in a bid to ensure that the situation remains under control. Let's just try and listen in to some of those visuals that are coming in from the Singhu border. All right, we will in fact get you more of those live pictures from the Singhu border, but these are of course dramatic pictures that are coming in at the moment from the Singhu border. Remember, the roads connecting the main stage of the Singhu border, the tiny arterial pathways that had been made which led to the main stage, the main epicenter of the protest, were in fact completely blocked off by the Delhi police after security was beefed up last night. So how have these protesters, how have these people, these 200 odd people who've gathered at the Singhu border to protest the farmers' movement, how have they been allowed to enter? It is unclear at the moment. How has a large group entered despite all of the security that's been put in place is a question that remains to be answered. But there has been reports of violence, of vandalism, of destruction to property there at the Singhu border after this group did in fact enter the premises, the perimeter of the protesting site.